Hey, so let's address who qualifies for the $10,000 grant. Now, this is under the EIDL, and that's the Economic Injury Disaster Loan Program. And it's the $10,000 everybody keeps talking about. And the first question is, is it a loan or is it a grant? And just to be clear, it is a grant. It does not have to be paid back. There's no interest rate. It's effectively free money, but they're going to call it a grant rather than free money. So now let's go into, do I qualify? Now, this part up here just says, you got to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, and that they say it's going to take about 2 hours and 10 minutes. I found that if you have your stuff together, it's probably going to take about 10 minutes, probably not 2 hours and 10 minutes. So who's eligible? Pretty much the same groups that are eligible under the PPP, the Paycheck Protection Program, are eligible here. If you have a business with not more than 500 employees, if you are a sole proprietor with or without employees, or an independent contractor, which means you get a 1099. If you get a 1099, you're eligible, which could be, or sole proprietor, right? So that comes back to Uber drivers and masseuses and physical trainers and all, outside sales, all kinds of things, you qualify. A cooperative with not more than 500 employees, an ESOP, which is an employee stock ownership plan, a tribal small business. So that could be Native Americans, agriculture. So, that would be the next one, cooperative, or aquaculture, right? A nursery. If they're not more than 500 employees under the small business SBA size standards, which what that means is you can have more than 500 employees if you fall under this criteria, right? And then it talks about nonprofit organizations, right? Or as it's known as a 501c3, which includes in this case, and I've heard some back and forth on if they qualify, faith-based organizations, churches. So this is saying if you fall into one of these categories, you can qualify for the $10,000 grant. Now, the next question that comes up, what makes me eligible to apply? Well, they're going to ask you some questions down here, and you're going to have to answer these questions. I've not engaged in any illegal activity as defined by the federal guidelines, right? Hopefully, at least you hadn't been caught, but we'll just say engaged in, because that's the question. You don't have, ownership of 50% or greater in more than 60 days delinquent on child support. So that's really the thing, is delinquent on child support. It's not a farm. I'm assuming they've got other things for that. It says that as long as you're not in a sexual prurient business. I had to look up the term prurient. I wasn't familiar with that one. It's a fascinating thing, but really it's just lascivious activities. But yeah, I did know what the rest meant, but I wasn't familiar with that word, that specific word. So if it's what they call an adult business, then you don't qualify. You can't get at least more than 1/3 of your gross revenue from gambling. You can't be a lobbyist, and you can't be part of the local, state, or municipal government. So if you answer yes to any of these things here, then you cannot apply, or you will not qualify. So those are the things that's going to make it whether you can qualify or not. The question next is, where do I apply? And where you apply for this $10,000, again, it's going to take about 10 minutes if you have your, what your revenues were from March of 2019 through February of 2020, and figure all that up. You're going to have to tell them how much your revenues were, if you had any cost of goods. So if you're in like a Plexus or Essential Oils and you're having to buy a bunch of stuff, or other businesses where you have a lot of stuff that you have to hold on to and buy that you're selling, you're going to disclose that. And then you're going to give them your bank information so they can give it to you, that they can just direct deposit it straight to you. So this is a very easy loan to qualify for. I'm told you can qualify for, sorry, this is a grant you can qualify for. It's $10,000, and you can do this in addition to applying for the PPP through a local bank. Where do I apply? You're going to go to covid19relief.sba.gov, G-O-V, and that's where you apply for the $10,000 grant. I hope that answers some questions. If we can help more, there's a lot of places. Yeah, there's a million. If you get a 1099, right, you qualify. If you have your own business, so masseuse, piano lessons, physical trainer, all that, psychologist, right, coaching, you qualify. If you have employees or don't have employees, you qualify. Solopreneur, you qualify. Internet marketer, you qualify. Uber driver, you qualify. Grubhub, right? 1099, miscellaneous, self-employed, business owner, you qualify. So hopefully that helps. If you have questions, post them and we'll get back to you. And feel free to share this so that others are informed. All right.